Most people believe kindness, honesty, and fairness will win them respect, but the world does not reward the naive, it devours them. So the question is this: how do you protect yourself in a ruthless world without becoming a victim? The answer lies in Machiavelli's 21 laws of power, rules designed not for saints, but for survivors. Power is not granted, it is taken, and once you hold it, you must guard it with cunning sharper than any blade. I am Niccolò Machiavelli, and today I will reveal to you 21 laws of power, laws forged in the fire of politics, betrayal, and human weakness. Ignore them, and you will be crushed. Learn them, and you will outsmart everyone. Let me tell you a truth most men refuse to face. Power is the air you breathe, the invisible current that shapes every moment of your life. It governs your career, your relationships, your ambitions. Yet, most people drift through the world unaware of its presence, like sheep grazing in a field, blind to the wolves watching them from the shadows. This ignorance is not innocence, it is weakness, and weakness in the game of power is fatal. You see, the problem of power is not that it exists. It always has, and it always will. The problem is that the majority of men have been taught lies about how it operates. From childhood, they are told to be honest, to be kind, to be fair. Noble words, but dangerous illusions. For in reality, the world is not governed by fairness. It is ruled by advantage. Men who cling to ideals without strategy are not praised. They are prey. I have watched men rise and fall in courts, in kingdoms, in republics. The ones who fall are not always the wicked. Often, they are the virtuous, the trusting, the open-hearted. Why? Because they believed the world would reward their goodness. They thought honesty would shield them, when in truth, honesty is a weapon others wield against you. Their downfall comes not from lack of talent, but from lack of suspicion, and so they are deceived, betrayed, and crushed beneath the march of ambition. Now consider this: every man you meet carries within him two faces. One is the mask he shows the world, polite, friendly, trustworthy. The other is the truth he hides: ambition, envy, fear, hunger. The mask is designed to disarm you, to make you lower your guard. The truth is revealed only when it is too late. Most people live and die never realizing that they are surrounded by masks, and so they are used, discarded, forgotten. The problem of power, therefore, is not merely that others seek to dominate you. It is that you do not even recognize when it is happening. You walk into rooms believing conversations are about ideas, when in truth they are about control. You think a compliment is a sign of respect, when often it is bait. You believe loyalty is eternal, when in fact it lasts only until a better offer arrives. In the chessboard of life, you assume you are a player, when in fact you are a pawn. This blindness is the reason you lose negotiations, the reason you are overlooked for promotions, the reason you are betrayed by those you trust. You mistake the world for a garden when it is truly a battlefield, and on this battlefield, only those who understand the laws of power survive. Let me ask you, have you ever wondered why some men command respect without effort, why others beg for it in vain, why some leaders inspire obedience, even devotion, while others are undermined, mocked, and cast aside? The answer lies not in luck, nor in virtue, but in their mastery of power. They know that human nature is not noble. It is selfish, restless, and driven by desire. They know that fear is more reliable than love, that appearance matters more than truth, that manipulation is often more effective than honesty. While the blind stumble, they see. While the weak complain, they act. While the naive hope, they plan. The great mistake of ordinary men is believing that power is only for kings, presidents, or generals, but power exists in every interaction. It is there when you ask for a favor, when you negotiate a salary, when you argue with your spouse, when you compete with your rivals. Power determines who leads and who follows, who commands and who obeys, eats at the table and who is left begging at the gate. To ignore power is to hand it willingly to others, and here lies the most dangerous illusion of all, the belief that if you simply live with integrity, you will be safe from manipulation. No, the wolves do not respect your integrity. Ambitious do not hesitate out of fairness. They will exploit your honesty as a weapon against you. They will twist your kindness into weakness. They will use your loyalty as a chain, and when you realize the trap, it will be too late. You may not desire power, but make no mistake, power desires you. It seeks to shape you, use you, control you. If you do not master it, others will. If you do not play the game, you are not outside the game, you are simply losing it. That is the eternal problem of power. Men can deny it, they can curse it, they can dream of a world without it, but still it governs every human exchange, and those who fail to see it are condemned to serve those who do. Now that you understand the problem of power, let us descend deeper into the shadows, where the true machinery of influence lies. Most men cling to illusions about how the world should be, while I concern myself only with how the world is. That is the heart of Machiavellian insight. To survive, to command, to outsmart, one must abandon fantasies and study the raw truth of human nature. Look carefully at men, and you will see that they are not noble creatures guided by reason. They are ruled by appetites, passions, and fears. They desire wealth, status, recognition, and security, yet they hide these desires under a cloak of civility. When they smile, it is often to conceal envy. When they flatter, it is to manipulate. When they obey, it is to wait for the moment to rebel. And so, the wise ruler, the cunning strategist, learns to deal not with what men claim to be, but with what they truly are. This is my first insight. Never trust words over actions. Men will tell you they are loyal, but loyalty lasts only until the winds shift. They will swear to love you, but love dies the moment it collides with fear or self-interest. Actions, not promises, reveal the truth. If you watch closely, you will see the patterns of ambition, the cracks in loyalty, the tremors of betrayal long before others notice them. Another insight is this: deception is not an exception to human behavior. It is the rule. Every man deceives, whether to gain advantage, to protect himself, or simply to survive. Some do it clumsily, others with elegance, but deception is the language of power. If you refuse to speak it, you will forever be deceived by those who do. This does not mean you must always lie, but you must always understand the mask you wear and the mask others present to you. Power is a theater, and those who cannot act are cast aside. Cruelty, too, when measured and calculated, is a tool. Weak men recoil at the thought of using fear, believing it will make them hated. But understand this: hatred can be endured, fear cannot be ignored. A single decisive act of cruelty, carried out swiftly and with purpose, is often kinder than endless half-measures that prolong suffering. Men remember mercy for a moment, they remember fear forever. But perhaps the most important insight is this: appearances matter more than reality. You may be ruthless in your heart, but if you appear just, men will respect you. You may be cunning, but if you appear honest, men will trust you. You may be weak in private, but if you project strength, men will obey you. The world does not see your soul, it sees your mask. Master the art of appearances, and you will master men. Do not think this is cynicism, it is clarity, for history itself testifies to it. Princes who ruled with ideals were torn down by conspiracies. Leaders who trusted too much were betrayed by their closest allies. But those who studied men as they are, those who knew when to deceive, when to terrify, when to flatter, and when to strike, those men carved empires. They were not always loved, but they were always obeyed. Machiavellian insight also teaches you that the world is a battlefield of perception. Men are governed not by truth, but by belief. If you can shape belief, you can control reality. It does not matter if you are truly strong, so long as you are believed to be strong. It does not matter if you are truly just, so long as you are believed to be just. Perception, repeated often enough, becomes reality. Therefore, the wise man spends as much effort crafting his image as he does strengthening his position, and here is a secret most never grasp. Power is not about constant aggression. It is about calculation. Sometimes the fox must hide from the lion until the moment is right. Sometimes silence is more powerful than speech. Sometimes restraint is more terrifying than rage. The great error of amateurs is that they reveal too much of their intentions, too much of their feelings, too much of their hand. Machiavellian insight is the art of concealment, of timing, of striking only when advantage is assured. Remember also that human nature is predictable. Men fear loss more than they value gain. Men will betray for survival before they betray for greed. Men will admire strength even if they resent it, and they will despise weakness even if they pity it. To understand these patterns is to hold the strings of fate in your hands. To ignore them is to wander blind into your own destruction. So many make the mistake of judging others by their own hearts. They assume loyalty will be returned with loyalty, kindness with kindness, honesty with honesty. But this is not how men operate. Machiavellian insight demands that you expect betrayal, plan for it, and use it to your advantage. If loyalty comes, treat it as a gift. If betrayal comes, treat it as inevitable. In both cases, you remain prepared. Power belongs not to those who dream, but to those who calculate, not to those who hope, but to those who observe, not to those who wait, but to those who strike at the precise moment. This is the essence of Machiavellian wisdom. It strips away illusions and reveals the game for what it is. A struggle of wills, a contest of masks, a dance of deception where only the most perceptive survive. Now that you understand the blindness of most men and the insight required to see through them, I will reveal to you the core of my teaching, 21 laws of power. They are not moral codes. They are not ideals. They are weapons sharpened by centuries of ambition, betrayal, and conquest. Ignore them and you will be ruled. Master them and you will rule. The first law is simple yet merciless. Conceal your true intentions. Men fear what they cannot predict. And if you show your hand too early, you disarm yourself. Speak in riddles, act with subtlety, and let others wander in confusion. While you move with clarity, in silence lies advantage. The second law, never place your trust in appearances. They are crafted, manipulated, designed to deceive. Judge not what a man says, but what he does. And even then, look deeper, for actions too may serve as disguises. The third law, command respect, never beg for it. If you lower yourself in search of approval, you will be despised. But if you carry yourself as if authority is your natural right, others will submit without question. The fourth law, fear outweighs love. Love is fragile, swayed by rumor, by absence, by jealousy. Fear binds men tightly. A man who fears you will hesitate before betrayal. A man who only loves you will turn away the moment love costs him something. The fifth law, protect your reputation as if it were your crown. Reputation is the armor that shields you from attack and the sword that strikes. Before you lift a hand, once it is stained, your enemies do not need to defeat you. You have already defeated yourself. The sixth law, let others do the work, but claim the credit. Victory is remembered by its name, not its labor. A wise ruler surrounds himself with talent, but ensures the glory flows upward toward his throne. The seventh law, learn when to strike and when to wait. Patience is not weakness, it is a hidden dagger. The fool leaps at every opportunity, but the master waits for the moment when a single move secures everything. The eighth law, know how to disappear. Mystery is power. Familiarity breeds contempt, but scarcity breeds desire. If you are always present, you are taken for granted. If you appear rarely, each appearance becomes an event, each word a command. The ninth law, master the art of deception. Truth is a rare coin, but lies flow freely. Men are eager to believe what comforts them. Tell them what they want to hear, and you will guide them where you wish. The 10th law, isolate your enemies, never your allies. Cut off your foe from support, from allies, from resources, until he stands alone. Once isolated, even the strongest opponent collapses. But never isolate yourself, for loneliness is the death of power. The 11th law, destroy your enemy completely. Mercy is praised in stories, but in reality it breeds revenge. If you strike, strike so hard that your enemy cannot rise again. The 12th law, play the fool when it serves you. Men are arrogant, and nothing blinds arrogance like the belief that they are smarter than you. Pretend to be weaker, simpler, slower, and they will reveal their secrets, thinking you no threat. Then when the time comes, you crush them. The 13th law, use absence to increase respect. Just as too much water drowns the plant, too much presence suffocates authority. Withdraw strategically and watch as men crave your return. The 14th law, never outshine the master. If you rise under another, never let your brilliance blind him. Men in power despise rivals, make them feel secure, flatter their egos, and bide your time until you can stand alone. The 15th law, create spectacles. Men are drawn not to reason, but to drama, pageantry, and display. A single grand gesture can win more loyalty than years of quiet virtue. Rule their eyes and you rule their hearts. The 16th law, control information. He who controls the flow of knowledge controls perception. Speak less than you know. Release only what strengthens your position, and let others live in the fog of ignorance. The 17th law, stir conflict among others while you remain distant. If your enemies fight one another, they cannot unite against you. If your allies compete for your favor, they remain bound to your authority. Division is the architect of domination. The 18th law, adapt like water, rigidity shatters. If you cling to one method, one strategy, one way of ruling, your enemies will learn your pattern, flow, shift, change shape. Be lion when strength is needed, fox when cunning is demanded, ghost when invisibility serves. The 19th law, keep men dependent on you. A man who believes he cannot survive without your support will serve you faithfully, even against his own interest. Make yourself the source of his survival, his wealth, his status, and he will cling to you like a drowning man to a raft. The 20th law, appear virtuous while practicing ruthlessness. Men want to believe in justice, kindness, faith. Show them the mask they crave, even as you move with calculation. Behind it, hypocrisy is not a flaw in power, it is a necessity. And the 21st law, never reveal the extent of your power. A ruler who shows his full strength teaches his enemies how to defeat him. Always keep a weapon hidden, a resource unseen, a secret untold. Let others believe they know you, while in truth they grasp only shadows. These laws are not theories. They are weapons forged from the flesh and blood of history itself. They are the laws that built empires, destroyed republics, and crowned princes. Men may curse them as immoral, but the world itself obeys them. Learn them, master them, and you will never be at the mercy of those who already use them against you. You have now heard the laws, and you may think they belong only to the past, to the chambers of kings, to the intrigue of empires, to dusty courts filled with daggers and whispers. But do not be deceived. These laws are not relics. They breathe, they live, they walk beside you every day, in business, in politics, in love, in the smallest interactions of daily life. Power flows just as it did in the palaces of Florence. Only the costumes have changed. The theater remains the same. Look around you in the world of business. Every corporation is a battlefield. Competitors smile across tables, shaking hands in public, but beneath the surface they plot each other's downfall. Colleagues flatter their superiors while waiting for the right moment to replace them. Promotions are not awarded to the most virtuous or the most skilled, but to those who understand timing, appearances, and influence. A worker who relies only on talent without learning the dance of power will remain overlooked, while another who masks ambition behind loyalty, who appears indispensable while feeding off the efforts of others, ascends. This is no different from a courtier pleasing his prince. Only the setting has shifted from palace halls to glass towers. Consider politics. Do you believe leaders are chosen purely by merit, honesty, or fairness? No. They are chosen because they master appearances, because they know how to control the story told about them. A politician does not need to be truly strong, he only needs to appear strong. He does not need to be virtuous, only to wear the mask of virtue more convincingly than his rivals. He does not need truth, he needs persuasion, and persuasion is but another name for manipulation. The ones who thrive in politics understand what I have said. For centuries, men are governed not by reality, but by belief. Even in the private realm of love, family, and friendship, these laws live. Do you not see how attraction often favors those who appear confident rather than those who are truly secure? How loyalty fades when fear of loss disappears? How manipulation creeps even into affection, as one partner uses silence, attention, or absence to bend the will of the other. The games of power are not confined to battlefields or parliaments. They seep into every household, every conversation, every bond. He who fails to see this suffers endlessly, asking why betrayal came, why loyalty broke, why devotion turned to indifference. He who sees it accepts that even love itself is governed by laws of advantage. Now let us bring these insights into your own life. In the workplace, Do not show every skill you possess at once. Conceal some, reveal others at the right time, and let your superiors believe they cannot function without you. Appear loyal, but keep your independence hidden. Help others succeed, but make certain the light shines on you when victory is claimed. Do not play the fool openly, but when rivals believe you to be less cunning than you are, let them drown in their arrogance while you rise silently above them. In negotiation, never reveal desperation. If you appear to need, you have already lost. Project strength, even when you are weak. Let the other believe you have other options, other weapons, other allies, even if you do not. Men concede not to fairness, but to pressure. If you control perception, you control the outcome. In relationships, recognize the balance of dependence. If you give everything, you lose power. If you hold something back, attention, affection, or mystery, you keep the other bound to you. Dependence breeds loyalty, while complete surrender breeds contempt. The fox understands this, the lamb does not. Online, in the digital realm, appearances are more powerful than ever. The screen is your mask, your stage, your battlefield. Men curate their lives to project confidence, wealth, virtue, and charm, but the wise understand that most of it is theater. To play this game, you too must master the art of image, not to deceive endlessly, but to shape how others perceive you. For perception is the currency of the modern world, and if you neglect it, others will weaponize theirs against you. Even in moments of crisis, the Machiavellian mind sees opportunity. Where others panic, you remain still. Where others complain, you act. Where others follow, you lead. The world is filled with men waiting for instruction, waiting for someone to step forward. If you are that one, if you seize the moment with confidence, they will obey, not because you are chosen by virtue, but because you dared to act when they hesitated. Understand this. The laws of power are eternal because human nature does not change. Technology evolves, cultures shift, customs transform, but ambition, fear, envy, and desire remain as constant as the sun. What worked in the court of the Medici works in the boardroom. What toppled kings topples CEO. What deceived generals deceives lovers. You may dress it differently, you may disguise it in the language of progress and modernity, but beneath it all, men are the same creatures I observed centuries ago. Do not comfort yourself with the belief that morality will protect you in this world. It will not. Morality may guide your private conscience, but power governs the actions of others toward you. To ignore it is to walk blindfolded into battle. To embrace it is to arm yourself, not merely with defense, but with the ability to command, to lead, to outwit. These laws are not only for rulers or princes. They are for anyone who wishes to stand above manipulation instead of beneath it, to navigate the cruelty of ambition without drowning in it, to shape destiny rather than be shaped by it. You have walked with me through the shadows of power, and you now see the world as it truly is, not as the naive dream it to be. You have learned the problem of power, the blindness that condemns men to be ruled. You have seen the insight that strips away illusion and reveals human nature in its raw form. You have heard the 21 laws, forged not in theory but in the blood and ambition of history, and you have glimpsed their modern face, alive in business, politics, and even love. The lesson is clear. Power is everywhere, in every word spoken, every gesture made, every silence left hanging. You cannot escape it, but you can master it. Those who deny it will forever be pawns. Those who study it will become players, and those who dare to wield it with cunning, calculation, and control will rise above all others. The question is no longer whether power exists. The question is whether you will continue to stumble blind into the traps of others, or whether you will seize the laws, wear the mask, and outsmart them all. The choice is yours.